शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शं नो भवत्वर्यमां शन्नो इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायौ त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि त्रिदं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. Namaskaram to all of you who is watching this video on Hindu Dharma or Sanatana Dharma as we refer to it. My name is Gayatri Krishnaveni Lakshmanan. I am a professional Bharatanatyam dancer and a true follower of Sanatana Dharma. We are living in a world where there are so many religions, each one having their own beauty about it, each one following a beautiful culture and a tradition that passes on good qualities in life. Hindu Sanatana Dharma is also a similar one. Today I will be talking about the Dharma according to a concept of one and many. Yes, Ekam, Anekam. Ekam meaning one and Anekam meaning many. Why have I chosen this theme? Well, because only our Hindu Sanatana Dharma has so many different forms of gods and goddesses, and we praise all of them in the same manner without any difference. Let me start with Ekam. Today I will be talking about 1 to 10 in the order. It is easy for every one of us to understand why our ancestors have followed this beautiful way of seeking the divine outside and inside. Ekam. The Parampurul or the Parabrahma is only one. Whatever form the god or goddess might be, that energy is the ultimate energy or Parashakti. Whether we prostrate and provoke it in the form of a male goddess, god, or a female goddess, the Parabrahma is only one. For instance, we all pray to Lord Ganesha, the god with the head of an elephant. We call him Mulu Mudir Kadavul in Tamil, meaning the first god to be sought for. Why? He is the Ganadipa or the god and commander-in-chief of all the Ganas of his father, Lord Shiva. Mahaganapati is the one who removes all obstacles in our path. He is Vigna Raja or he is Vigna Vinashaka, the one who destroys all obstacles in anybody's path. So for us, the first god that we pray is Lord Ganesha, the very beautiful and plumpy and cute god with an elephant head. So let us seek his blessings and move on with this Hindu Sanatana Dharma. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashantaye Vakratunna Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvatha. Without seeking the blessings of Lord Ganesha, all of us will never move on to do anything new or to start anything new in our lives. Having talked about one, the Parampurul or the Parabrahmam, let us go on to two, Dvayam or Dvaitam. When Parabrahmam is being thought about, there is only one energy. But in Dvayam or Dvaitam, it is a form of worship where there is two entities. One being Paramatma or the Parabrahman, and the two being the Jiva or the Jivatma that has come out of the Paramatma, which has human qualities and is not God itself. So here we have the split of having the Jivatma and the Paramatma, where the duality of the energies is seen. When I talk about Jivatma and Paramatma, according to Bhagavata Purana, Lord Vishnu, who incarnated as Krishna, is the Paramatma. And all the Jivans in this world, Radha, Meera, everyone, whether it be a man or a woman, becomes the Jivatma, trying always to reach the God in union, where it becomes dual. The energies are dual. Though the Jivan has come out of the Paramam, the Jivan seeks to unite with the Paramatma. Here we see Dvayam or duality or Dvaitam. A good example for Dvaitam is also Shiva and Parvati. Both of them are two different energies, but they fuse together and show to the devotees as Ardhanari, meaning half man and half woman, where the energies are two but fused together. Ardhanarishwara is a very beautiful way of invoking the duality in each of us. As you all know, each one of us has a man and a woman that is within us. When we do a certain function or a job, we suddenly become a male or we suddenly become a female to handle that kind of a situation. So, when we are talking about two, we are talking about Dvaitam, Jivatma and Paramatma. Coming to three. You all know there are three worlds. There are three lokas. The heavens, Amara Mandala, the earth, the Bhumi or the Prithvi Mandala, and the Patala Loka or the netherworld. There are three worlds. The Amara Mandala is filled up with the gods, deities, and Indra and the demigods. The Bhuloka is for all of us who constantly strive to live a struggle between the good and the evil. And the Patala Loka is for the demons and the Rakshasas and those who attain death by ill-fatedness. So there is always a heaven and earth and we are stuck in between. So three becomes the three lokas or the trilokyam. Also, in three we have three shaktis or three energies. Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. Ichcha Shakti is a Shakti that gives us desire to attain things, to obtain things, to want things. Ichcha Shakti. Kriya Shakti is the energy that gives us power to do these works. Suppose I want a box of sweets. That is my Ichcha. For me to go to the shop and buy the sweets is Kriya, because my body is motivated to go and get what I want. Jnana Shakti, the third one, is the Shakti or energy of knowledge. So my brain gives me the right message to go and buy the sweets. When I want sweets, I will not be going and buying flowers. I will be wanting to go and buy the sweets. That is where Jnana Shakti comes in. I am giving you all a very simple example. The Hindu Sanatana Dharma is as simple as the small story of wanting sweets, buying sweets and getting sweets. So the three energies are Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti and Jnana Shakti. When I am talking about three, I should not fail to mention the trinities or the three great musicians of our Hindu classical singing. They are called the musical trinities. They are Parabrahmam Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshita, and Shyama Shastri. We call them Sangeeta Mummurtis. Yes, they are also referred to as the gods of Carnatic music. Well, it is very important. Why? Because only when you realize the greatness of the Parabrahma inside you will you be able to bring it out in the form of poetry or music or dance or literature or stories. So, for all of us, the Sangeeta Trinities or the Mummurtigal are praised as gods. Coming to 4. As you all know, we have the 4 Vedas. All of you are very familiar with the 4 Vedas. I am not going to go deeper into the 4 Vedas. These 4 Vedas have so much essence in them that sometimes, without even reading the Vedas, some of us misinterpret what is being told in the Vedas. The Vedas are for practice. They are for sadhana. They are for learning. They are for a particular way of conducting life. If you follow the Vedas correctly, if you are initiated into the Vedas rightly, you will be able to follow them in the right way as written by our gods. So the 4 Vedas, you know the names: Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda, and one more, the 4 Vedas. So after having spoken about the Vedas, we now move on to the 4 types of tastes. Why am I talking about food today? Well, we all know that we have to eat to live and we live to eat. It is a very simple tattva. It is not a very complicated one. The 4 tastes are sweet, spice, sour, and salt. Well, in the Hindu Sanatana Dharma, especially in the southern part of Bharat, we have the celebration of New Year, which we celebrate during the month of April, which is Chitrai for us. That time we make a very special dish called the mango payasam or the mango sweet, in which we are supposed to use these 4 different tastes. The mango is for the sourness. We add salt. The mango is also sour and it is also salty. And we add neem leaves for the bitterness, neem flowers for the bitterness, and we add chilies for the spice. And we mix it in a beautiful concoction of gourd or jaggery, which adds the sweet. Why are these 4 tastes important? Because it signifies our life, entire life that we live is made of these 4 different emotions in the form of the 4 different tastes. Today it might be bitter, tomorrow it might be sour, the day after it might be sweet, and the 4th day it might be salty. So this is for us to take life and to follow a life on a neutral note and to balance our emotions. So all these 4 different tastes are very important to our dharma. 5. What should I say about 5? As a dancer, I want to include the 5th Veda or the Natya Veda by sage Bharata. By Brahma created the 5th Veda called the Natya Veda, having the best essence of the first 4 Vedas. The Natya Veda arose, which was called the 5th Veda or the Natya Veda. So for me, 5th Veda is very precious. 5 is a very, very important number. We all know that every Gayatri mantra is very auspicious, and every god has his own Gayatri mantra. Gayatri Mata is also called Panchamukhi, as she has 5 beautiful heads. Yes. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvah Tatsat Vidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayad. Gayatri Mantra is considered very auspicious for all the Brahmins, and each god is initiated with that particular Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri is also referred to as Panchamukhi, so she is 5. When I talk about Pancha, there are so much for us to learn. Let me start with the Panchabhutas. We all know that most of the Hindu gods, especially Lord Shiva, is worshipped in the form of a linga. He is formless. He has no beginning or no end. He is referred to as Ekan and Anekan in Tiruvashakam. Yes. Why is it that some of the gods have forms and somebody like Lord Shiva is worshipped in the form of a linga, which is just a mold of formless stone? Well, if you want to see him as a stone, he is nothing but a stone. But if you go deeper, he is none other than the 5 elements. Yes. We worship Lord Shiva in the form of 5 elements. And we have, in South India, we have 5 temples which represents these 5 elements. So the Panchabhutas are space or Akasha, Vayu or wind, Jala or water, fire or Agni, and earth or Prithvi. Lord Shiva is worshipped in all these 5 forms. Yes, Shiva is not just a stone, he is the elements. We worship the sun god, who is nobody but fire. Every day we need water for our sustenance. It is nothing but God. We worship Ganga Mata, who is nothing but water. Why have all these elements been called as gods? So we do not misuse them. We have to cherish them, we have to value them, we should save them, we should protect them, and we should pray to them for abundance. Having said about the Panchabhutas, I now come to the Pancha Indriyas, or the 5 senses. These Panchabhutas are directly connected to the 5 Indriyas, or the 5 senses in our body, namely vision, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. These 5 Indriyas are directly connected to the 5 elements, or the Panchabhutas. There is also Panchakriyas, or 5 acts of the Parabrahman or the gods. So now for the Panchakriyas, I am going to be talking about Shakti or Devi, as I call her Adi Parashakti. Whatever form that we worship in, she is our mother goddess. So she is our vital energy. Adi Parashakti is nothing but our own mothers or our own Janani, who give birth to us, who feed us, who raise us, who give us values in life, who teach us how to behave. So Adi Parashakti does 5 jobs. Or rather, she creates 5 different energies in the form of gods to do 5 jobs. Let me talk about 5 jobs. You must all be very familiar with Srishti, Sthiti and Samhara, meaning creation, preservation and destruction. Well, there are 2 more for which I want to talk about. Yes, Srishti is creation. Sthiti is protection or preservation. Samharam is dissolution or destruction. We would like to refer to it as dissolution because you cannot completely destroy anything. It just transforms from one matter to another matter. Suppose if I cut a tree and make it into a piece of wood, the tree that was a tree has now become a wood. So it is just transformed, but it is the piece of the same tree. So we call it dissolution, which is samhara. Then there is tirodhana, or illusion, or maya. We cannot see God. That's what we think. We don't see God. God doesn't appear before us, or even if He appears, we are so ignorant that we don't see Him in our presence. That is illusion or maya. Then the fifth one being anugraha, or blessing. So out of all this, blessing is the most reverent, because we always seek the blessings of the gods for us to be happy, healthy. Yes, so these are the 5 kriyas: Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirodhana and Anugraha. So Parashakti does these 5 kriyas, and so does Ganapati, or so does Mahavishnu, or so does Shiva. So all the gods are supposed to do these 5 kriyas. So they are called the Panchakritya. Having said about 5, I would now move on to 6. According to Adi Shankara Bhagavad Pada, a great saint who has written so much verses on many gods, he initiated the Shanmatam, or the 6 forms of worship. We have already spoken about few of the gods here, but for your reference, I want to go over it again. Ganapatyam, the worship of Ganapati. Kaumaram, the worship of Muruga, Kartikeya or Kumara. Shaivam, the worship of Lord Shiva. Shaktam, the worship of Shakti or Adiparashakti. Vainavam, the worship of Lord Vishnu. And finally, Sauram, the worship of Lord Surya, the fire god. According to Adi Shankara, we follow 6 forms of worship, namely Shanmatam. And there are 6 seasons called Shat Ritu. We have 2 in-between seasons, and these seasons are usually not seen in many parts of Hindustan. There are 6 seasons. There are also 6 evils, or Shat Ripu. What are they? Kama, Krodha, Lopa, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These evils of the mind are always struggling with the Indriyas. They are always struggling to win over each other. But the mind controls all of them and keeps them in the right order, so that one of them don't come up and destroy the physical self. So we now saw Shanmatam, the 6 seasons and the Shat Ripu. Muruga is also called Shadanana or Shadakshara, as he is referred to as Sharavarna Bhava, the 6 energies. Coming to 7, there are 7 constellations or Saptarishis. The Saptarishi Mandala is very, very important for Vedic rituals. We see the constellation of the star, and there are 27 stars for 1 moon, 1 Chandra. He has 27 stars, and all of our horoscopes and birthdays are based on these 7 constellations. Saptarishi Mandala. There are also Saptamatrikas. When I talk about Shaktam, we recently celebrated Navaratri. So during Navaratri, we have different gods and goddesses kept on beautiful decorated steps, and we praise the gods and goddesses, and we prostrate to the women. So these Saptamatrikas were created by each of the male god to assist Devi Adi Parashakti or Lalita Ambika to vanquish evil asuras. So the Saptamatrikas are Brahmani, Vaishnavi, Maheshwari, Kaumari, Varahi, Matangi and Rudrini or Raudrini. There are 7 of them and they assist goddess Lalitambika in fighting evil Bhandasura and many other asuras who were created by Bhandasura. 7 notes. There are Saptaswaras. I am talking purely based on some of the classical South Indian traditions that we follow, which I feel is an important part of our dharma. These Saptaswaras create a Raga Mandala and a Vairaga Mandala. Sometimes they go in unison. You can see all 7 together. And sometimes there are only 4 notes, there are only 5 notes. Then they create a beautiful tone within them which is up and down. Some of the ragas have just 5 notes. Some of them have 7, some of them have 6. They have different tones in them which gives them a different flavor altogether. So just why am I talking about the Saptaswaras? Because it is a very important aspect of Sanatana Dharma. Whether we do Hindustani music or Carnatic music, I feel these swaras bring out the energy. Why am I talking about the swaras? There are also the 7 chakras in our body which becomes activated as we start realizing these 7 notes. The Saptaswaras activate the 7 chakras. For those great musicians which I talked about earlier, namely the Sangeeta Trinities, for them, they always used to have the gods and goddesses appearing before them whenever they used to sing a song. How was that possible? Why is it not possible now? We have to believe that the gods will appear. In whatever form they appear, we have to believe it is them who is appearing before us. The Saptaswaras provoke and initiate the energy within. It creates a beautiful harmony within. So, I'm just going to talk a very small incident of Lord Adi Shankara. Well, Adi Shankara kept on thinking how to call upon Devi, his greatest goddess. So he was thinking of something. You know how sometimes Vakdevi is very important? Yes, every mantra that we chant or every hymn that we say has a bija to it, meaning a seed. Bija means a seed. So if we say these mantras properly, the bija comes out and it grows and grows and grows, bringing you and bearing you the fruit of your tapas and your vratam. When Adi Shankara wanted to see goddess, so he kept saying, what shall I ask the goddess? He said, Bhavani, Tvam dase mai sada. Oh Bhavani, for you, let me be a slave always. He wanted to say that. And when goddess appeared in front of his eyes, like a child, he was stuck. He didn't know anything. He could not utter his words. His Vakdevi got choked because when you see God, all you can feel is thamba. You are in awe. You cannot utter a single word. You will be like, okay, I have a list of things. Let me ask 1 and 1. Let me ask 2. Let me ask 3 to God. No, it is not possible. When you see goddess, all you do is open your mouth and start crying out of disbelief. And then you believe in her. And then Adi Shankara said, Bhavani Tvam, Bhavani Tvam, Bhavani Tvam. And he couldn't utter after that. You know what happened? You know what Bhavani Tvam means? Bhavani Tvam means becoming Bhavani herself. Yes, the words get so different when you say it with a different pause in between. Bhavani Tvam dase mai sada means a different thing. Bhavani Tvam means a different thing altogether. So goddess Amba decided, oh, you want to become me? So be it. You will become Bhavani. And lo, that's what happened. So when you start uttering these Saptaswaras in the right manner, they give you the right energy to realize the godliness in you and out. Coming to 8 or Ashta. We know that there are 8 Lakshmis. There are Ashta Lakshmis. Mahalakshmi is the goddess of wealth, and she is also a part of the Dashamahavidyas, which I will be mentioning later. Excuse me. So these 8 Lakshmis give blessings, bestow blessings on the different aspects of wealth. Vidya Lakshmi, Veera Lakshmi, Vijaya Lakshmi, Santana Lakshmi, Saubhagya Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Dhana Lakshmi, Vijaya Lakshmi, Dhairya Lakshmi. So many Lakshmis in different forms give us different kinds of wealth. I am also going to talk about the 8 Siddhis. They are also called the Ashtamaha Siddhis. Siddhi meaning something that you acquire, something that you get out of great penance. We have 18 Siddhas in the South Indian mythology, and these 18 Siddhas are still alive. They do not die. They have no death. They have been created for different things. They have been created for so many divine things to spread the bhakti of the omnipresent. So these 18 Siddhas have attained these Siddhis. Another person who is supposed to have attained Siddhi is Lord Hanuman, who was bestowed the Ashtamaha Siddhi by Rama and Sita themselves. Let me talk about the Ashtamaha Siddhi and what they are. They are Anima, Mahima, Laghima, Gharima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva and Vashitva. Most of you would be familiar with these Ashtamaha Siddhis, and I do not want to probe very deep into them, as these are completely mystical. And to understand them, one has to have an inner knowledge and insight of what they actually bestow upon. There are sometimes tantric in traditions. There are 3 kinds of how you can worship. So one is mantra swarupa with mantras and chants and hymns. One is tantra swarupa. Tantra swarupa is with the tantric rituals. Sometimes people invoke Kali and they offer blood, they offer animal sacrifice. So that is also another form of worship. It is a very fierce form of worship. I am not here to say what is right and wrong. I am just here to discuss how beautiful our dharma leads us to a path of righteousness. So after having said about the Ashtamaha Siddhis, I now come about to number 9, Nava. Navagrahas. Yes, there are 9 gods or the grahas that rule the planets, that rule our entire life. We recently had the Guru, Perchi, or the Guru, God Guru, moving from his house to another house. So we treat them as planetary motions, and these planetary movements are very important to each one of us and our Jataka or our horoscope. So now talking about the Navagrahas, Adityaya cha Somaya Mangalaya Budaya ja Guru Shukra Sanibhyascha Ragave Ketave Namaha. The 9 planets are Surya, Chandra, Aditya, Soma, Guru, Shukra, Buddha, Shani, Rahu, Ketu. 9 of them. These 9 planets are very important for all of us, as without them we would not know what is going to happen tomorrow in our daily life. But seeking their blessings and praying to them with sincerity, they will not harm anyone. It is our belief that they change their movements, but none of the planets will actually harm anyone. We just have to believe in them for their goodness. There are Navapashanas or 9 poison. So, when I talk about 9 poisons, some of the Siddhas are very familiar with these Navapashanas, and there are Maragada Lingas, emerald lingas, which are made up of this Navapashanas or the 9 poison. So, you know, if you take anything too much of honey, it becomes poison at one point. Same way, these Navapashanas, we believe that the Muruga, the Palanimalai Muruga in South India or Kartikeya, the Vigraha of Muruga is very, very auspicious as it is made up of Navapashana or the 9 poison in the right proportion. So when you mix these 9 different poison in the right proportion and a Vigraha is created, anything that touches the Vigraha becomes medicine or Aushadha. So these Navapashana, if taken rightly, becomes Aushadha or medicine. I also want to talk about the Navanidhis and the Navaratnas. There are Navaratnas, you know that there are 9 precious gems, Navaratnas, which we believe will bring us good luck. And we all sometimes we have the Navaratna rings or the Navaratna necklace or the Navaratna earrings in the right pattern. If you set it up, it is supposed to bring us good wealth, health and prosperity. So the Navaratnas are very, very important for our Hindu Dharma. And there are Navakanyas, like how I spoke about Saptamatrikas, there are Navakanyas. Why am I talking about Navakanya now? Well, because along with the Saptamatrikas, there are 2 more additions in the Saptamatrikas. They become the Navakanyas. So I had already mentioned the Saptamatrikas. The Navakanya, the 2 more that is added to this list is Yajna Rupini and Manonmani. So Brahmani, Vaishnavi, Rudrini, Maheshwari, Kaumari, Varahi, and we had Matani. So now the 8 and 9 is Yajna-Rupini and Manonmani. Yajna-Rupini is the form of the goddess or the energy that comes out of a yagam or a big yajna. That rupa of goddess which comes out of invoking her through a yajna or fire is Yajna-Rupini, which is very essential for Shaktam. And Manonmani, the commitment or the chittam inside that makes you do this yaga is another form of goddess called Manonmani. Mana Unmani means man means our self, and Unmatam, Unmani means honest, delirious, committed, steadfast. That energy herself is a goddess. She is invoked as Manonmani. So the Saptamatrikas from plus Yajna-Rupini and Manonmani become the Navadurgas or the Navakanyas. There is also Navavida Bhakti and Navanidhis. Well, so the Navanidhis and the Navavida Bhakti, I am going to talk about them. Navavida Bhakti is being said in many epics and Itihasas and Puranas, especially in Bhagavata Purana. We have the 9 forms of worship of Mahavishnu or any god for that. So, Archanam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Atmanivedanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, and you know the order of them. I'm not going again deeper into these. So these Navavida Bhaktis are easy ways for all of us in this Laukika, in this normal existing world to reach God. We cannot become like the Siddhas. We cannot do fasting and we cannot starve. We cannot go into a yogic position. meaning somebody like me. There are great yogis out there, but I am not talking about them. I am talking about somebody who is a regular householder like me. How do you reach God? You hear about God. You think about God. Shravanam, Smaranam. And you sing the name of God, Kirtanam. And you offer to God, Archanam. And then you invoke God, Nivedanam. And then you fall at the God's feet, which is Pada Sevaram. And then you offer yourself, your heart, your will, your everything, your desires. You give up for attaining God, which is Atma Nivedana. That is the 9 forms of worship or Navavida Bhakti, which is very easy for all of us to understand the greatness of the Parabrahma. As I said, there is also Navanidhis. Well, God Kubera is supposed to be the god of Nidhi or wealth for all of us. We have Kubera Puja. We always keep gold coins and worship for Diwali. Yes. And so the auspicious 9 things that we call it as Nidhi or treasures is Mahapadma, the greatest of lotus. Then there is Padma. Then there is Shankha or conch. Then the Makara or the crocodile. Then the Kachapa or the tortoise shell. Then the Kunda Pushpa or the jasmine. Then that is the Neela or the sapphire. And then there is Karva or the copper vessels. So these are Navanidhis, and each household is supposed to have these Navanidhis in the house for their health and prosperity. We now come to the very last of this Ekam Anekam. Dasha or 10. For me, I would like to begin with Dasha Avatara and the Dasha Mahavidya. And Dasha Disha, meaning the 10 directions. We all know there is an 8 directions. 8 directions, north, west, south, east, and northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest. The 8 direction. But there is also a direction above and direction below, which adds it up to 10 directions or Dasa Disha. So, Dasha Avatara and Dasha Mahavidyas. Dasha Mahavidyas is a very interesting concept. It is supposed, according to the Lalita Sahasranama Parayana, those who are familiar with the Lalita Sahasranama will agree with whatever I am going to tell you here. As I said before, many of you would be watching this, and I do not want any contradicting ideas. This is whatever I felt I wanted to share with you that I am sharing. So these Dasha Mahavidyas are Kali, Tara, Shodashi, Bhuvaneshwari, Bhairavi, Chinnamasta, Bagadamukhi, Dhumavati, Matangi and Kamala. They are all tantric in qualities, but they are also easily approachable. Dasha Mahavidyas are a very important part of the worship of Shakti or Shaktam. Then we have the Dasha Avataras, meaning the 10 different incarnations of Lord Mahavishnu for vanquishing various evils. They are Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, Parashurama, Rama, Balarama, Krishna and Kalki. The 10 avatars and the Dasha Mahavidyas are supposed to have come out of Devi's fingers and fingernails. So, Karankuli Nakotpanna Narayana Dashakriti. That's what quotes the Lalita Sahasranama. So, Kara Anguli, from the fingernails of Devi Goddess Lalitambika, Nakha Utpanna was created from the fingernail. Narayana, Dashakriti. The 10 avatars of Narayana came from the fingernails of Goddess Lalitambika. So does the Dasha Mahavidyas. So the Dasha Mahavidyas are supposed to be in the 10 fingers of our palms. So sometimes Your grandma, your dadi or dadaji might have told you, as soon as you wake up in the morning, do not open your eyes. Rub your hands and close your eyes and look at your fingers, because the gods reside in your palms. That is why we are supposed to do pranam with closed fingers. We don't say a hi, we don't shake hands. We never used to do that. That was not a part of our dharma. And can you believe it has come to use even now? We always, with our closed hands, we have the pranams, where our energies become one and it gives us strength. So, as I told you, the Dasha Mahavidyas and the Dashavataras and the 10 dishas or the 10 directions. In Shaktam, there are Dasha Mudra. So, Dasha Mudra Samaradhya, she who is worshipped with the 10 different mudras. We have special mudras that invoke the energy within, which is practiced by peoples of Shakti, worshippers of Shakti in the form of Shaktam. With that, I come to my topic of Ekam, Anekam, the one and many. So from 1 to 10, whatever I wanted to share has been given to you. I wind up with a beautiful Mangala Shlokam in the praise of Goddess Shakti. Om Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namah Namo Namah Namo Namah. Om